So we just had the California Shakeout Drill, and it was really fast. Usually when I was in high school, it would take a while. We'd have to go outside, and we'd have to like stand in our lines and everything. They'd have to take roll again. But that's our California Shakeout Drill now. So Shakeout Drill is basically like all the schools in California, and yeah, all the schools in California have to do a shakeout drill. So if there's an earthquake, we have to know what to do. You just get under your desk and you hold on. And it's my prep, so I don't have any kids. I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here and I guess do my work and pretend it doesn't happen. But it was so short, I was like actually kind of confused. I was like, oh, that's it? So yeah, California, watch out for those earthquakes. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is quarter two. We are already in quarter two and it's Thursday, and I know I've been slacking on recording because I've been so busy. I made some changes to my room, so I want to show you what they are. So we have the rug here, which you saw. We have lots of like stuff over here because I'm fundraising for ASB, napkins and stuff. Those are like cups and all these things for our party. This is where I put the chips, but I have a kid's jacket in there because she doesn't want to take it with her. Cell phone thing is here. I moved this over here just because I needed more room on my desk for my Elmo. So I have this here so I can like model things for them. I have my printer still here. For the most part, everything is the same over here, and the lights are out. So we have rainbow drawers, but I do want to show you my beautiful classroom. So I put these up here. I just put a background on them: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and we had extra, so I did navy and dark green. But I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them there because I originally did not want them there because the clock is there and it like has this weird gap, and I don't like that. So I might just move these down here, so underneath here, which I think would be better. And then I printed out some things for my classroom codes for Google Classroom. So I have all these here, so I'm thinking of just putting the codes for Google Classroom on the top up here. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just right there. And then have room for whatever else I want to put over there. But I think I'm putting all those down here instead. But I moved my desks. I put them in rows again. I just like rows better because I feel like it makes the class a whole lot quieter, which is a lot nicer. So if you have classes that talk a lot, which sometimes I do get classes that talk a lot, but honestly it's only my leadership class and sometimes my drama class. It just depends on if a couple kids are in there that are normally pretty loud and they kind of get the whole class talking. So I prefer the rows. So I have 3 rows of 9, and then I have a row in the back of 5. So technically 4 rows total. So this will hold all of my students, but the only reason I have this many is because my leadership class again is really big this quarter. We have 30 something. So we have chairs in the back in case we need extra places for the kids to sit too. We have 6 chairs in the back over there. So this is where we put our paint a lot, but I'm actually going to move those to one of these tables. So those are the caddies. I don't have them in groups anymore because they're in rows. I still wanted to use caddies, so I just put all the caddies over there. And then the rainbow bins are over here. If you can see that, I moved my Chromebook cart over here a little more, and then Chromebook cart used to be over here. These are some extra desks in case we get more students. We have our green screen up for our video announcements, which I need to steam it because it's still pretty wrinkled, and I guess you could still see that in announcements. But this is the table they use, so it's like they're like news reporters, so they have that table, and then we just grab some chairs to put over there. These are just posters that need the tape off of them, so I have them out for the students. Let me show you what it looks like. Obviously it's still a mess. We gotta clean all this paint and everything, but we have posters here that need to be finished. We got this new paint set, so we use actual ink. It's like marker ink but with paintbrushes. It's really cool. So it looks like this. You have like a paintbrush, but it's like actual marker ink. So I love this. I'll link this down at the bottom if you're interested. They are actually really expensive, not gonna lie. Posters here need to be either posted soon. I love this one. It's for Red Ribbon Week. Don't huff, don't puff, don't smoke that stuff. So I love this one. It needs to be hung, and I think the other ones are just unfinished, so we need to finish those. We have our paper over here still, our books over here. But yeah, look at all this room we have. It's so nice. So I wanted all this room in the back so that since the tables are not in groups, kids aren't able to work in groups for their posters, which is fine. So instead they have all this room on the floor to work on them on the floor. Plus we can just leave them on the floor to dry, so when my other classes come, they aren't even back here at all. They're just sitting in their desks face forward. So this is what it looks like. We have our calendar over here for everything that's going on. You can see that next week we're celebrating Red Ribbon Week, and then this is going to be our Spirit Week. I don't particularly like how I have the calendar on this whiteboard, because when kids walk by, it does come off, like on their shoulder or something, on their jacket when they walk by. So I'm thinking of just getting like a smaller one to just put by the door. We have lots of stuff that's different, but then again, lots of stuff that's the same. So this board, I put some things up for our study sync. So our school bought Study Sync, which is our online curriculum for English language arts, and on this board I just put like directions on how kids can get to it, because it's really complicated to get there. It's not like you just put in the URL and it shows up. Like, we have to go through all these different things. We have to go to our Google Mail, we have to go through our apps through Google Mail, you have to click on this thing over here, and if it doesn't show up you have to keep closing and opening and closing and opening until it does show up. It's really frustrating. So we have the directions over here, because honestly it gets annoying to say it every single day. So we teach them how to log in. So that's there for them. Mr. Bean holds our passes, so when kids go outside during ASB, they just grab a pass, and then the teachers know where they're from, and they know they aren't just wandering. So Mr. Bean kind of blocks that door, and he holds those. But this is what it looks like, and we love it. It's doing a decent job of getting us through quarter 2. I did number the desks, so just like last quarter, or not last quarter, I guess last year, I numbered the desks, and since they're in rows, it's easy for them to just put their phones in here and know exactly which number it is. And I honestly, I've gotten lazy this year. I don't walk the cart around for the phones, so this is my phone system. I collect phones, and they put them in this calculator holder. My first year I would walk it around because it is on wheels, but the wheels, like the one I have, it gets hair in it. Like, you don't think there's hair and like dust and stuff on the floor because they look so clean, but no, like there's so much invisible hair in here that will get stuck in the wheels. So some of the wheels just don't roll anymore. Maybe like 2 of the wheels roll and then the other ones just kind of drag. So I don't roll it around anymore. I actually have the kids just come up and put it in, or for some of the periods I will put that right next to the door, and right when they walk into the class, when the bell rings, like bell rings, go to class and they're coming in, they'll see it and they'll just put their phone in before they even take a seat, which I actually prefer. But then I just put it up here in front of the class, and I make sure the screens are faced backwards. So if the screen is faced forward, kids are gonna know like, oh, I got a Snapchat notification, oh, I got an Instagram notification, or someone texted me. So they get super excited and kind of nervous where they need to go check it. So make sure the screen is always faced backwards so the kids can't see the screen. That's what I prefer. Some of the kids prefer it too, because they don't want other people to see like what people are saying in their texts, because a lot of iPhones and phones in general, if you text someone, it'll show up as a notification, but they have it on the setting where you can read the actual first line or 2 of the text, so they don't like other people reading it, so they just face it backwards themselves too. But yeah, so this is my classroom. We got our green screen up there and we love it. All of our paper chains are done, and then as Christmas comes, we're gonna put up the rainbow lights, and it's gonna be beautiful. I don't particularly like how these cover the windows, but it is what it is. I don't really have any other place to put them that I'm gonna like, but I have to get this green screen to cover all of it. I don't have to because it blocks it anyways, but it bothers me that it's not, so I'm going to put it to cover that. But yeah, this is what it looks like. And I'm still working on my Disney posters. That's going to take forever because it already is taking forever. But I am putting more here, I'm putting more over here, and those will be up eventually. But I just wanted to show you what my classroom looks like so far and how it's going along. I got my personal laptop here, my work laptop here. I got a Cricut over here so we can cut out different things. I also got a portable laminator, like a Scotch laminator, and that's in my back cabinet. We got lots of random things that I just need to figure out a place to put it. Like, I don't know where to put it. It's a very big classroom, but I'm also very like particular on where things go and how things look. like the green screen. It bothers me that it's not all the way up. Not that we need it all the way up because it's blocked anyways, but that's just me. I don't know if it's you. Make sure you like this video. Anyways, so that's my classroom. And yeah, this is quarter 2, and I already had to kick a student out of my classroom for sexual harassment. He was saying things that were very, very inappropriate towards me, so I removed him from the classroom. He is 18 years old, so I was not putting up with it. So not that if he was younger than 18 I would. In general, you're 18, like, get out of here. So I kicked him out of my classroom. There was this giant meeting to talk about like his behavior towards women, and he came in and apologized, but it was more of a, hey, they told me to come and apologize to you. So it's one of those. So yeah, he's removed from my classroom. Everything else I think has gone well. The only thing is my first period. So I'm at a continuation school, so a lot of the kids show up very, very late. My first period I have only 17 kids on the roster. And again, at a continuation school, you need lower numbers so you can work more with the students instead of some students getting lost in curriculum and not, so kids don't get left behind. We have smaller classroom sizes. So my first period is 17. Usually I would have around 20, 25. Last quarter we had 25 to 30, but my first period is 17, and most of them show up late. So we get a lot of kids that are tardy first period, and not just like, oh yeah, we have a lot of kids. No, like it's almost the entire class shows tardy first period. So my first day of quarter 1, which was Monday, I had one kid. Just one kid, and I was like, this is so awkward, what do I do? So the next day I had 2, and then the next day we had maybe 4, and then today we had like 7. So it's getting up, like kids are coming a little more as it's the first week of school. But a trend that happens at the school is that they'll show up normally like on time, maybe like a week, and then after that they will slowly stop coming. That's just a norm because kids don't want to wake up that early to go to school, so maybe they'll come second period or third, which is very normal. So it's just very awkward for me to have all the kids that are late in that class, so they will just not show up, and I'll have like 2, so it's really awkward. So anyways, that's my first period. My English 9, sorry, I gotta make sure I tell you. English 9, first period. My ASB class is very big again. It's very loud again, which I want them to talk. I want them to have people that they know, but it's also very loud. So we have almost 40 kids in there, and it's like, oh, again, you're so loud. So I think it's gonna be good because I think the more kids we have, the better participation we have, the more influence we have over the other students. So I think it'll be okay. We also have to get a new president and a new vice president. Our vice president didn't make grades, so he was removed from the class. I tell my kids you have to make an A or a B to stay in the class. So vice president didn't make it. President, they actually put him in a lot of electives, and he's done with electives. So that kind of bothered me that they're kind of messing him up like that. And they don't mean to. It just happens. Like, the schedules get messed up sometimes, and it's some kids just, we don't look at every single kid. Like, teachers don't look at every single kid to make sure they're in the right classes because we have to teach, we're the teachers. We do only have one counselor, we only have one principal, so we don't have a lot of administration. And our counselor is gone all week for the first week, so there's not a lot of like double checking and triple checking and quadruple checking to make sure they're in the right classes until one teacher randomly will find it like, hey, you're not supposed to be in this class. So yeah, anyways, we have a lot of kids that end up taking classes they don't need. So last quarter I had my president. He was a great president, but he didn't need that class. He didn't need any electives at all, to be honest, and they put him in electives again. I was thinking that, oh yeah, another quarter for the ASB president, but he didn't even need it. Like, he was way over elective credits, and he needs his core classes, all of them, basically all of the core classes, and they're just putting him in electives. So I fixed that for him. I caught that and I fixed it. So we don't have him either. So we need a new president and a new vice president. I'm looking to get a female student as a president so I can drive her to our meetings instead of having to wait for the principal to drive the student. So last quarter we had a male student, and I do not feel comfortable driving a male student. Sorry, a student came in and I always forget to lock my doors, and I just feel weird when people walk in on me when I'm vlogging. So anyways, when we fundraise for ASB, we have to keep we have to keep track of who we sell to and how much we sell to them and what we sell to them. It's kind of frustrating. So usually when you're like setting up a table to fundraise, or for me, like I sell the things in class, we sell waters and we sell hot Cheetos for fundraising for ASB, not for me. You just like take the money and you give them things. Well, there's a new system, I guess, that our school has where we have to keep track of who we sell to and what we sell to them and how much money we take from them. So it's really frustrating. So I printed out a class roster, and basically I will write down the day. We have to know what day to, like down to the day. How much money do we get? What day did we sell it? And it's like I sell every single day. It's so hard to keep track of. So I have a class roster on here that I'm going to try and see if we can do that with. So it's kind of frustrating, but we're going to see how it works. So it is what it is. Anyways, we're going to try that. And it's so frustrating, like, to keep track of all that. Like, why can't we just, like, sell it and take the money and then turn in the money? Like, so much easier. Anyways, yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for my classroom in terms of updates. Second quarter, I don't remember what I was saying, honestly, before the kid came in, so I have no idea. But the bell's gonna ring in like 5 minutes. I have all of our announcements printed out, so I print them out on paper, white paper, but rainbow, like whatever, rainbow text per, I guess, paragraph. So each kid will get whatever paragraph. I cut these into strips, or I just use the big one. I like to cut them into strips so kids can read it beforehand, and if they don't know how to say a word, I can help them before it's their turn, so they can practice it before they go. But I do it in rainbow, so you know what order you're in because based on the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, black, and then the last one is red again. So each kid will just grab a strip of these. I'll assign them to the kids, and they'll just say it on the announcements, which we do through the phone, and we do the pledge and everything. And in my ASB class, I'm having them do announcements like as participation points now. So everyone has to participate in announcements. Today's also Thursday, so tomorrow is our first set of video announcements for quarter 2. Video announcements have been they've been getting done so well. They've been going really well. Except one thing that needs to change is that kids need to be more excited in them, because we get some kids who are just very monotone and they don't sound excited about anything. So you have kids like, hey, come to our Halloween dance. It's this day at this time. There's going to be free food. Buy your tickets. And it's just like, it's boring. So if I were to hear that, I just wouldn't even listen to it. I would just kind of do something else if I were a student in class. Like, I'd just write down whatever in my plan or whatever instead of listening. So we're trying to get kids who are more like, the word I use is poppy, like get more bubbly, poppy, you know. So I'm requiring every kid to do announcements, because the kids who normally are poppy, like personality wise, they're graduating very soon. So once they graduate, we're not gonna have anyone. So I'm trying it to where every single person has to do announcements. So it's participation, and we're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna see how it goes. I know we're gonna get some boring kids, but it's not that the kid is boring. It's just that they're nervous, so they go very monotone and very slow, or they'll stumble over their words, but it's good practice for them. So the more they practice, the better they get. So I'm having every kid do it. And I'm kind of nervous, to be honest. I'm nervous, but we're gonna see how this goes. So I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Bell's gonna ring very soon. Actually, it's gonna ring in like a minute. So I'm gonna close this vlog here, and if I have time after school, I'll catch up with you after school. Okay, bye.
I was told it was urgent, come see me tonight. In the circle we're flirting, and we